And it's not that I'm like just super cool, because, if I was super cool, I wouldn't have health conditions. So that one time that I'm eating, I have an addiction to Swedish fish, those red Swedish fish. I could eat a freaking pound of them, and I have, not at once, but I remember my daughter will make a comment about, oh my God, look at all the Swedish fish you're eating. And I look at her and I just go, A, that's not kind. And B, you're judging me, but you know how clean I eat. It's the same thing. People are going to find a problem with whatever you are doing. F them. Screw them. There is nothing you can do. And in regards to family, and I just had a reading with a wonderful, wonderful woman that I am just like so enchanted by the other day, that's dealing with similar issues with family where she can't make her family members happy. But screw it. Because first of all, it's not your job to make anyone else happy. Repeat after me. It is not my job to make anyone else happy. Repeat after me again. I am not responsible for someone else's happiness. And in regards to family, if they have been criticizing you all your life, chances are, unless they have a freaking incredible breakthrough during 5 years of therapy, they're not going to change. Change takes time, whether it's losing weight, whether it's getting healthy, emotionally, change takes time. And someone that has been overly critical is not going to just stop being critical. And I can't tell you why. If we had a reading, we could explore it, and I could tell you, okay, this is why your family is A, B, and C, and I could help you get through 10 years of therapy in an hour. That's kind of my slogan. That's what I love to do. But other than that, I can't tell you why, your best friend of 15 years suddenly stopped talking to you. And I can't tell you every single reason, because I can tell you, though, it's usually about them. When you are being rejected, when you are being criticized, it's not about you. It is about them and their viewpoint on life. One of my best friends that I do not get to see enough, I met her, it's been over 10 years ago in Hawaii, and she and I would run together. And she had a cheery disposition, whether it was the first mile or the last mile. She was so stinking incredibly positive. And I got to know her. And of course, because she was super cool, I would probably become her. If I was going to bake it to be someone else, I would be her. Because she is freaking the most positive person you'll ever meet. She's like Tinkerbell. And I finally asked her one day, I was like, what is your deal? Why are you so positive all the time? And she said, why not? It doesn't help me to be negative. And she explained that in her family growing up, her mom didn't yell. No one yelled. So she grew up learning how to navigate emotions more healthy than if you were in a family that yelled or maybe did passive aggressive stuff or whatever. And to this day, she has such a wonderful disposition, and I really admire that. But I didn't feel good enough to be friends with her, because here I am, always struggling on my runs or struggling. For a long time, I just felt like I was struggling no matter what. How many of these people, does this reminds you of you, or it reminds you of someone? Like, there's always someone in your life that just feels like they're constantly treading water, and that has been me. And I felt like, why is she friends with me? And I asked her, and she's like, because you're awesome, because you're great, you're this and that. She was seeing things inside me that I didn't see in myself. But I was so used to people criticizing rather than complimenting that it felt super weird to be complimented. Doesn't it feel weird? Like, it's so interesting because we live in such a society. Like, I watch Real Housewives because I love them and they help give my brain a rest. And they're kissing each other. Oh, I love your outfit. Oh, I love this. And I'm like, you can't possibly love every single outfit every single time you see them. You look gorgeous, and it's not that they don't look gorgeous or they don't have the most fabulous clothes, but it's just, it's hard when people are saying these kind of things all the time. It's like, do I really look gorgeous? Or are you just saying that? These compliments. But it's also maybe because you're not used to receiving them. And me personally, I grew up not receiving a whole lot of compliments. I received a lot of criticism, but not compliments. And so it feels really weird to get that. And it's going to take a while. I've been married 11 years today, and I still feel weird when my husband says something really nice about me. I get very antsy when he does something romantic because part of me is still this little girl that feels like she does not deserve it because I did not feel worthy. I felt so messed up because I had these voices in my head that I didn't know what they were. And I felt so different. And instead of helping me explore those things, or I don't know what could have been done differently. But instead I was put on a bunch of psychotropic medication for a good decade. And it really quieted everything, but it didn't solve anything. I was still lost. I was still scared of these abilities and these things that I knew, and I didn't know how I knew them. And there's a little girl or a little boy in all of us still. And we are still hurting over things from our childhood. And it's important, and I mentioned this in the blog, to make friends with that little girl or that little boy. And tell them about your life now, and tell them it's okay, and tell them you are going to keep them safe. When I do this exercise, I am walking, and I'll do it kind of in my mind when I'm clear and I'm not, dealing with kids or a husband or whatever. And I talk to her as I walk, and I pretend she's right next to me. And I talk to her about why I'm walking and the fact that we're in New England. And I tell her about the things I'm doing, and I comfort her, and I tell her it's going to be hard, but it's going to get better. Make friends with your younger self. And protect your younger self because they're still there inside of you. And if we don't allow that child in us to heal, we're never going to get better, folks. We never are. We have to allow childhood pain. We have to let it go. And we have to allow ourselves to heal because we deserve healing. We deserve to be free of whatever issues our parents and our family or extended family put on us. And it's no one's fault. We inadvertently put things on our children. I'm sure my daughter will be in therapy for a long time, and my son. And, I say that with some comic relief, but it's true. Like, we all are going to do things to mess up our kids. So we might as well do the best we can as mothers and fathers, and we can try to do the best we can in our own families to change things. But we have to let go of that pain and that rejection. And I am still working on that. I talked about in the blog that there's a podcast Nancy that's super positive, and I quote RuPaul, and I say, if you don't love yourself, how the hell are you going to love someone else? And then there's, regular Nancy that's not a psychic medium that sits there and is incredibly sad and really rejected because she gets mean comments on her blog and, is getting rejected by family because of an ability that she has no control over. And we all have something in us that other people don't like. But that's not our problem. That's theirs. And it is healthier to own who we are and to turn what we have that someone else doesn't like as a gift and as an advantage instead of looking at it as a disadvantage. For me personally, I can look at my psychic medium gift and I could say, it's not a gift. It's a hazard. It needs to be hidden because the Bible says so. And I'm not going to use it. And I will still have the gift. I'll still be able to, I still will have it. It's not going to go away. It doesn't work like that. Or I could look at it as a gift. Look at whatever you do as a gift as well. Whether you dance, or you have beautiful writing or handwriting, or you have a wicked sense of humor, whatever it is that you have felt rejected from. Maybe you're an incredible activist. Maybe you're an organizer. Maybe you're an incredible artist. Whatever it is that you have been criticized for, maybe you walk in a different way, kind of like Barry, if you've seen the Goldbergs, how Barry runs. Whatever it is, be proud of it and look at what you have as a gift in some way, because we all have something to offer the world. And just because we have it, we are always going to get rejected. Rejection will never end. People making us feel not good enough is going to keep happening until we say no more, because I am good enough. And all I can do is the best for today. And sometimes it means just getting out of bed and making sure my kids don't hurt themselves. Sometimes that's the best I can do. Or like right now, my son is watching TV, and I'm sure there's someone out there going, oh my God, you're letting your son watch TV while you're recording a podcast. Okay, but he's happy. And the dogs are babysitting. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. He's fine. He's safe. I can see him. He's fine. But we need to stop looking at our childhood as such a hindrance, and the stuff that has happened is such a hindrance. And we need to stop allowing other people to have such power over us, because we're worth more than that. And it doesn't matter what other people think. As long as you think the best about yourself, as long as you do the best you can, whatever that is. Some days you're going to feel like you can walk forever, and other days you're only going to be able to take a few steps. It's okay. It doesn't allow other people the power to say negative things about you. Allow that to not affect you in the ways that you have been. And I'm honestly, I'm saying this to myself too. And every time you think a negative thought, switch it up with a positive. So if I am feeling rejected because, I'm a psychic medium, yeah, I'm an awesome psychic medium. And I am. Look at my testimonials. I'm good at what I do, and I love it. I love helping people, and it makes me happy. I had a reading for 3 hours the other day. It made me so happy. I loved this woman. I just could have talked to her for the whole evening. And I didn't care that it was 3 hours. I didn't charge her anymore because I loved talking to her. And if you can find what you love, screw what everyone else thinks. Go for whatever it is that you have been waiting to go for. Here is your sign. Screw the rejection. Screw what other people are going to think, because they're going to think it regardless. And just go for it. Go for the freaking moon. It is about time that we stop letting people have power over our decisions, because we are worth more than that. I want you to say it with me. I am worth more than it. I am worth more than other people's thoughts of me. I deserve happiness. Regardless of who is saying these negative things to you, you deserve happiness. You deserve to be loved. You deserve to feel safe. And you are moving forward, but you need to love yourself. All of yourself. Quirky dancing, silly running, whatever it is that other people have criticized you for. I was called a giraffe in middle school because I have a long neck. And now, like, I grew up and I'm like, oh, like Katharine Hepburn or Audrey Hepburn or one of the Hepburns, I think it was Audrey. Whatever it is, own it.